Welcome to Life Under Construction, the podcast about growth, leadership, and rebuilding the parts of life and business that matter most. I'm Ingrid, alongside your co-host Brooke. We have honest conversations about entrepreneurship, personal evolution, and the life lessons we learn along the way, sometimes the hard way. Whether you're navigating change, building something new, or redefining success in your own terms, we're so glad you're here. Now let's get into it.
The mission behind this is because there's never a point in life when you have fully arrived, that we are always constructing something. And so for this episode, we're going to share with you some things that we've constructed that's complete and what is currently under construction.
Welcome to Life Under Construction. I'm your host, Ingrid Ricks.
And I'm your host, Brooke Jennings. And we are so happy you're here.
We are. And by the way, so that's been a thing for me. That's been under construction. Ricks, going from Prince to Ricks.
Did you just say your old name?
And the industry knows me as Ingrid Prince, right?
Okay.
And there's been this evolution of who Ingrid is. Now there's hashtag Ask Ingrid.
Yeah.
And hashtag Ask Ingrid was born from Ingrid, my maiden name, Estrella.
Cute.
And so when I transitioned to Ingrid Prince, that was a whole debacle because they were like, who?
Like, who are we talking about?
Yes.
So maybe we're just Ingrid and Brook. Because we're going to keep it simple. For this episode, one thing we really wanted to share is why we are in front of you right now, why you are hearing us. What is the reason that we started Life Under Construction? We're each going to share with you some things that we have constructed, some lessons we have learned, and what we are currently still working on. And so, Ingrid.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot to unpack there. So, Life Under Construction, when we originally started talking about this concept, for me at least, I was missing something that I wanted to help me continue to grow and to be inspired, because let's face it, our life is always under construction, whether it is in our careers, in parenting, in our relationships, in our friendships, everything. And so for us, we really wanted to feature guests that can help teach us so many things, especially for me in parenting. I'm like, I need to get myself together.
I need help.
Like what just when you think you have arrived as a mother.
New terror unlocked.
It is. And I don't know about you. There's moments where it feels lonely.
Yes. That was really the catalyst for this. Is I reached out to you and was like, since I've started my own business, I'm the loneliest I've ever been.
Yes. And being lonely, you're just looking for that connection with somebody to either say that, hey, I have been there. I hear you. I see you. I know what you're going through. And it's going to be okay.
Yes. Like, this loneliness is a season.
It
but
is.
Also, if you're lonely, let's talk to people. And now we have each other.
Yes. And have it be okay, right? Normalize that.
Yes.
To talk to other people. Because I think that's one thing that's missing as well, is that it's difficult for people to get vulnerable.
Yes.
And to not talk about the things that are not going so well, the things that we make mistakes on, and the things that, that we just struggle with.
In a life of highlight reels, it honestly can make you feel more depressed or more lonely when you're going through something, because you look online and you see these perfectly curated things and everyone else's lives look like they're going amazing, and you're thinking, is it just me? Am I the only one?
Are you the drama? Or am I the drama?
Right. It's like, wait, what am I doing wrong? Like, you look like your life's pretty perfect.
Right. But we have to constantly remind ourselves, it's not all flowers and rainbows all the time.
Yes.
Right?
So that's what you're going to get here at Life Under Construction. You're going to get real, you're going to get honest, and we recognize that the same way we have our own struggles and our own stories, so does everyone else. The problem is, most people are never asked to share their story. And so we're really grateful and excited to be able to bring this platform to where we want to know the people behind the titles. I love that you are this person, you have this career, but I want to know who you are beneath that.
Well, and we can't promise that there will not be tears, because there probably will be. And that is okay. So get your tissues ready, okay?
Yes.
Because there may be. And that's okay.
So Ingrid, tell me a lesson you have learned.
Gosh, there There's so many lessons, but honestly and truly, it's that life is always under construction. Whatever season I've been in life, it's always been like, okay, when I get to this point,
Yes.
I'm going to make it. This is when I have arrived, right? And I've learned that that is not the case. You never arrive.
You never arrive. And that's why I'm such a believer that happiness is a choice. Because a lot of times we have conditional happiness. Okay, once this happens, then I'll be happy. Well, then that happens and you're still not happy. And I've been in that cycle too. I'm sure people who are listening to this have been in that cycle as well. And that's when you realize, I'm just going to be happy. I'm going to live, laugh, love.
Right, exactly. Because to your point, when we spend a lot of time on social media, let's all be honest. I know you guys do. You can't help but compare yourself and your situation and where you're at in life from the perfect reels that you were seeing on social media. And so you have to be able to pull yourself away from that and see it for what it is.
Yes.
Everybody that's behind the scenes, they're human. They make mistakes. They get sad. They say the wrong things.
Yes.
You know, bad things happen. Sad things happen. And it's all in how you're willing to face it and deal with it.
Yes. And to the point of facing it, I've learned a few things in recent years. And the first is honestly how we're right here. And that is your network is everything. And one relationship can change your life. And if you are someone who is thinking of trying something new, or you're in a season where you're like, I'm not sure what to do next, meet somebody, reach out to someone. I am such a believer that no matter where you are in life, there is someone out there who would love to help you get to where you want to be. And I've seen that proven true in my life. I remember in high school, I met this woman. Her name is Tammy Crawford. I'm from small town Tennessee, as you know. And it's being in a small town is beautiful, but it's also really hard when you are the drama. My family was the drama of the small town I was in. My mom was on the news all the time. My dad in and out of jail. And I ended up getting pregnant at 16. And I'll never forget, I was in this season of absolute depression, sadness, and a lot of you probably feel this way even in adulthood. You feel like you're constantly being judged. And that's another thing I've learned. You're not. Honestly, like no one is thinking about you the way you're thinking about you. But I'll never forget, I walked into church one Sunday and this woman, Tammy Crawford, came up to me and just said, Brooke, come sit with me. And she took me under her wing. And because of that relationship, she's the reason I graduated college. She was the first person who was like, no, you're going to college. When I thought, well, I'm going to have a baby now. That's not in the realm of possibility for me. And since then, I've recognized people really do want to help. And that's what I love about vulnerable, honest conversations. You realize, oh, wait, when I am honest, when I am vulnerable, that gives someone else permission to not be okay as well. And then you can then help each other.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of people just have to be open and willing to receive that.
Yes.
A lot of times we let our own egos get in the way because you don't want to show people the mistakes that you've made in the past. I've had this narrative in my head for a long time where I'm like, I never graduated college. And you heard that story. And for the longest time, I had this narrative in my head that, oh, I can't do this because I didn't graduate college. And the people that are going for this position are people that have college degrees. And so having that narrative in your head just like tends to limit people. So it's the choice that you make to let your ego go.
Yes.
And let people in, and it's okay.
It is okay.
Right?
Yes.
The other thing that I would say that I've learned is you're never going to be ready.
Yeah.
There is never a perfect time to do anything. So if you are afraid to make change, to take the leap, to do whatever it is, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Because again, one, you're never going to know unless you try.
Yes.
But two, if you try and you fail, that's where you learn.
That's research, baby.
I love that, by the way. Research. I'm going to start calling it that.
Yeah. Before we started rolling, Ingrid and I were talking about, kids and parenthoods and mistakes. And in our family, there are no mistakes. It's research. So it's like, hey, this didn't go as we planned. Let's do research. Let's figure out where it went wrong or what we can learn from it. Because mistakes, failure have such a negative connotation, whereas we all like research because research means growth. It means learning. And back to you'll never be ready. I've got to share this analogy that our really good friend Christian Lemire shared with me. I was really struggling with a huge life decision, and I was thinking about leaving the company that I'd been at for 3.5 years and just genuinely loved the people that I worked with so much. My clients were like my family, and I was losing sleep over it. I was sick over it. And I was on the phone with him because, sometimes you just need someone to tell you what to do because you're just in analysis paralysis and you're thinking of everything that could go wrong, and you're thinking, well, what are people going to think, or who could get hurt through this? And he said, have you ever been skydiving? Which, absolutely not.
I have.
No. You have? Oh my gosh, we'll have to talk about that. Well, Christian Lemire has as well. And he said, when you go skydiving, you are a nervous wreck, right? Like you're driving to the place and you're kind of excited. You're thinking about the possibility, like, okay, this is gonna be really cool. You get there, you're scared. Right. You're really scared. As you are in the helicopter going up, you are thinking about everything that could go wrong.
Yep.
Like everything that could go wrong, worst case scenario is going to happen. And then you get up there and you jump. And you feel, my gosh, this euphoria, this is such a rush, this is amazing. And when you land, you realize how small you are, how precious life is, and you think, well, what's next? What I could do? I just jumped out of a plane. I can do anything. And so he said, right now, you're on the ascend. Like right now, you are thinking about everything that could go wrong, worried about what everyone else is going to think, and you just have to jump. And I quit that night. I said, okay, I'm going to jump. And he said, I'm going to hold you to it. And he said, okay, do it. And I need you to call me after. Like I'm holding you accountable.
Right.
And so you said it perfect. You're never going to be ready. You just have to ask yourself the question of, what do I want? Why do I want it?
Right.
And then you just have to take action.
And same thing in my career. You go through the motions of weighing out the pros and cons, the what ifs, the worst case scenarios. And if you don't have a Christian Lemire to put it to perspective for you, for me, it was about evaluating, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? I've gone through all of the things, and you guys will learn about all of the things that have constructed this life that I've built for myself. And my life is pretty dang good. It's been a rocky road at times, but we're here. We're surviving.
Yes. It's
So,
like, I'm not going to allow external things to hurt me anymore.
Right.
And maybe y'all are like this too, but I'm so hard on myself. Like I hurt my own feelings enough. I can't worry about other people anymore.
Yeah.
I have to simply decide, okay, what's best for me, and when I show up as my best, everyone else around me is going to feel that, and they're going to feel better for it.
And truth be told, getting to that mindset is very difficult.
Very difficult.
Very difficult, because we can say it all day long. And I feel like we are both very positive people. I am a glass half full gal, right? I like to see the good in people in every situation, but there are times where, you just question everything, right? And so, you have to be able to then, move on from situations that don't serve you.
Yes.
I don't know. That was even hard for me because people can do their part in tearing you down.
Yes. And one thing I've learned with that, and this could be fake, I could be lying to myself, but what I have decided to believe is when someone does something that I perceive as hurtful to me, has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It is their own fear, their own insecurity, their own things that they are working through. The same way sometimes when something happens, I don't always react well. It's because it was my own insecurity, my own thing I was going through. And I've just had to let myself believe this has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Because I can't carry the weight of everyone else's behavior on my shoulders.
Right.
And I refuse to any longer. And earlier this year, one of my friends was given a cancer diagnosis. And that shaped everything. I tell her literally every other day that she has changed my life because she was given this diagnosis and just so many horrible circumstances surrounding her. If anyone should never get a cancer diagnosis, it's her. The most angelic human who's already going through some really hard things. And at the time, I was just really stressed about building this new home and the amount that I was traveling and, I had this moment where I was at one of my kids' school, one of my school things. Child's, yeah. We're talking about my bad grammar. Just don't quote me on anything. And I was talking to one of the parents, and she said, "What teacher does your daughter have?" I didn't know. And I thought, oh my gosh. So anyways, I'm mentally struggling. I'm working too much. I'm traveling too much. I don't even know who my kid's teacher is, and I'm spiraling. And then she sends me that text letting me know. And it put me in such perspective of, I have no problems. If I'm healthy, nothing else matters. If my kids are healthy, nothing else matters. And so when the world or someone else or some external force, comes to us and something happens and it's hurtful and you don't understand it, I don't care because I'm healthy.
Yeah. And that's such a great point, because at some point in your life, there's always going to be a stopping point where something happens that is a life-changing moment that you realize that it's not that bad. What's happening to me, what you're thinking is the worst thing in the world, is really not that bad.
And if you think about it, the thing we fear is nothing but our imagination gone wild.
Right.
It's not even real. It's not even real. Fear stops us from doing so many things, and it is a made up thing. It's like people who don't fly because they have a fear of the plane crashing. It's like, what is the likelihood? Which honestly, there have been some crashes, so maybe not the best example. But it's this, if I could look at situations and come up with all the things I could be scared of, I can look at a situation and come up with all the things I could be grateful for. And I try to find the gift in any stressful situation. This is something we've talked about, and I would love for you to talk about a gift you've learned recently in life through diagnosis and everything else.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would like to say about that, it's just the gift of being able to be more present in the moment and releasing what doesn't serve me. And what I mean by that, like we've talked about, and I've been in situations now where there have just been mean things that have occurred over the last year. And for a while there, it's very heavy to carry. And in this season of my career, my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer. And a lot of you know me that may be listening. I've recently gotten married, going from one son to now 3 kids has all been like just such a huge change. And getting that diagnosis from my father-in-law, it really puts a lot of things into perspective relative to, what matters most in life.
Yeah.
Right? That the things that people say about you, the things that people do to you, or the things that I even think is the worst thing in the world right now, it doesn't matter, right? Like it's all minuscule, because for me, like you said earlier, I'm healthy.
Yes.
But I have my life to be thankful for. Yes. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. I'm all the things. I can still do all the things that I love to do today. What about you?
What about me?
What have you experience in this life that you're currently constructing for yourself?
Yes. So one thing, you mentioned, and we've talked off camera about, loss. When you reach a certain age, you start to lose people, and it's heartbreaking. And as you were saying that, I started thinking about the losses I've had that were by choice. And
so good.
Yeah. So this is not something I share with anyone except really close friends, the story I'm about to tell you. In 2020, I made the decision to no longer have a relationship with my mother. Everybody knows who is listening to this. Both my parents are drug addicts, the whole thing. And I cut my dad out immediately the second I turned 18. But I think every little girl really hopes to have a relationship with their mom. And so I really held out hope for so long for that relationship. And in 2020, something horrible happened. And I told her, I said, I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. I have to protect my kids. I have to get off this roller coaster ride, because that's what I was on with her. Dealing with an addict is the most devastating thing in the world, because you're always getting hopeful and then it's a loss, getting hopeful and then it's a loss. And you're constantly being let down. And so I told her, I said, if you ever get sober, I will open that door, but I can't do it until you get sober. Well, Ingrid, last summer, I get a screenshot of a plane ticket, because we've moved to Florida 2 years ago, and I didn't even have the number in my phone, because when I cut off contact, I cut off contact. Okay.
No contact.
I delete, I block. We no longer have a relationship.
Yeah.
And cold turkey. And I get from this number, I don't know, I get a plane ticket, and I see it's her name, and it's to where I live in Florida. And I was so confused. Anyways, come to find out, she said, hey, great news. I'm sober. I want to come visit you and the kids. And I thought, well, I can't go back on my word, right? Like I said, if she ever got sober, I'm calling family members and I'm asking, how is she? Is she sober? Is she good? I don't know what's going on. And everyone assures me, we think she's great. We think she's sober. And I thought, okay. So I say, okay, you can come. So I go to pick her up from the airport. I see her walk out, and she actually has a nice outfit on. I've never known my mom to be in anything other than like pajama pants and a tank top and hair in a messy bun. She actually looked nice. And so I thought, oh my goodness, this is a positive. When she gets in the car, it's always awkward with us because we've never had like a mother-daughter relationship. I asked her if she's hungry. She said, oh yeah, I would love food. And very positive sign. Oh my gosh, she wants to eat. You know, it's the little things that you're holding on to. And so I'm like, this is going to be great. That night, you know, she flew in kind of late. So eat, you know, get to the place, go to bed. We wake up the next morning. She's in Florida. So I'm like, we need to go to the beach, right? We need to go to the beach. Withdrawals are happening immediately. I won't go into everything that happened on the beach.
So you know the signs, right?
Like when you've lived with this, and I've told all of my children, and I'll just say it because I mean it. I have told every one of my kids, if you ever do drugs, I will disown you to the point when people ask me how many kids I have. I'll say I have 2. So I have 3. Because I'm so honest with them. I have dealt with an addict the whole first half of my life. I refuse to deal with an addict the second half. And I've put the fear up. Especially my 17-year-old, she knows. Like, she's got the fear. And I stand by it. So we are on the beach. She's going up to random strangers, asking them for cigarettes, asking them for lighters. I'm embarrassed to death. And so I'm acting like I don't even know her. We abort mission at the beach because I'm just like, get me out of here. We are driving back home. I'm having to stop at gas stations. I stop at a gas station for her. Don't know what's happening. And then we are on the way. She's stopping at another gas station. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, the whole weekend, she is a disaster. We're going to skip a lot because it's a long story. That Monday, I have work. The girls are on break. It's summer, right? They're not at school. I have virtual sales training calls all day. I have one that starts in 30 minutes. And my youngest daughter and my middle daughter come up to me and they say, hey, where's Lori? That's my mom's name. And I say, oh, she's probably upstairs. I didn't know this at the time, but they had actually watched her leave. They had watched her pack her suitcase and leave. And I don't know this yet, though. So I'm like, oh, let's go look upstairs. We go upstairs, and I open my guest bedroom door, vomit.
No.
All over the floor. There's all these towels on the bed. I start picking up towels, vomit. There was a really nice dresser in that room. The face of the dresser had been broken off. I'm in shock. First of all, absolute shock. The night before, she didn't leave the room, and I kept trying to bring her food, bring her water. At one point, she asked if I need pain medicine, and I didn't. So I sent my husband to the store, and just like a man, he bought the biggest bottle of Tylenol extra strength that they had. You know, I'm like, oh, okay. A little one would have worked. The biggest bottle ever, brand new. I see that bottle on the nightstand, and I pick it up, and it's pretty much all gone.
No.
Yeah. My blood is boiling. One, because she wasn't supposed to leave yet. So where did she go? I'm like, is there an app online where it's like, I'm in this state, where's a drug dealer? I mean, I could, I'm like, where are you going?
Right.
And she left at like 7 a.m. And she didn't even tell my kids bye, but they watched her leave. It was the most bizarre situation. I'm calling everyone in my family who told me she was sober. I'm sitting on videos. I'm thinking, this is... Now, all of a sudden, I'm back to where I was 4 years prior.
PTSD.
Really, PTSD. So I'm trying to shield my kids from everything. So I'm like, oh, like we're just gonna close this door.
We're gonna clean it up later.
We're gonna focus. We're not even gonna worry about this. She flew home. And then I had to get on a sales training call, and I had calls all day. And, you just simply, sometimes you have to just put it in your back pocket, put yourself in a state to perform, and then deal with it later. But what that taught me was, it's okay. It's okay to keep the boundary up, even when, it felt like a trick, because I think she's at a point now where she recognizes she has no one else, but no one has ever allowed her to hit rock bottom to where she could get better.
But you know what? I guess what I take from that is good on her for leaving, honestly, because you would have rather her leave anyway. Otherwise, you probably would have just kicked her out.
You know what I would have loved? A conversation of, I thought I could go this long without drugs. I don't think she recognized, which just tells me how deep the addiction is. She flew there. She couldn't fly with drugs. I don't think she realized how quickly she would go through a withdrawal.
Sure.
And I think that's always been my biggest problem, is the lack of honesty. If you say, I want to see you guys, like, I'm still in this, but I'm really trying to fight my way out of it. Or if she would have said, I'm getting sick in here. First of all, like, go to the toilet. I just couldn't believe that. Right. So if she would have just said, like, on Sunday, I was trying to talk to her, like knocking on the door. Is everything okay? Are you okay? Do you want to eat? Can I get you anything? Knowing she's withdrawing, if she would have just said, I messed up.
Right.
So I think that I would have loved a conversation. I would have loved a goodbye. I would have loved an acknowledgement for what it was, because what happened is she went back home to that family and said that I had mistreated her, that I had kicked her out, that I didn't feed her all weekend, and lies. And of course they know, right? Like, they know me, they know her, and so no one believed it. They just accepted it for what it was, of like, oh, that's just Lori being Lori. But I'm to a point where I can't accept that anymore, and I will never accept it again. And so if you are in a situation where there is a relationship that is draining you, that is hurtful to you, it doesn't matter if that's your mother, your grandmother, a sibling, you do not have to accept anyone else's bad behavior. You don't.
Right. And I love that, because this is circling back to you saying losing relationships. Sorry, I can't say it as eloquently as you.
Well, it's like it's a loss by choice.
Yes, a loss by choice, right? And I think I have certainly gone through plenty of those where sometimes the choice that you make to just choose to walk away is a difficult one. And that goes back to, the choice that I made with my first husband. I grew up in a traditional Catholic family, and in my family, like, no one has ever gotten divorced. I'm Filipino, and you just make it work. And so making that choice to walk away from a marriage that we had built I was married for 17 years. I'm only 20.
Yeah.
Is difficult because we share a son together.
Yeah.
But you just have to trust that what's going to happen on the other side is going to be so much better.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people, when they meet me, one of the things I hear a lot is, oh my gosh, you're always so happy. You're always so happy. And it's because I've had so many bad days that the most average day is the best day to me.
Right.
And probably how you feel now, feel like such joy and such happiness at the most basic of things. I always say you can't appreciate a good day without a really bad day.
That's right. And you have to go through the bad days.
Yeah.
You make it a choice to get through all the hard things. And I think that's what we want you guys to know, is that what you guys see and the choices that we make about being happy and being positive people, that all is there because we go through the bad days.
Yes. Well, okay. Positivity. I'm actually anti-positivity. I'm pro-optimism, because positivity is when the house is on fire and you're like, it's fine.
I'm gonna have nowhere to live.
Which optimism is what you're talking about.
Yes.
It's where even when it's not fine, you have hope in the fact that it will get better.
Yes.
So you don't have to be positive. You need to be optimistic. Optimism is a superpower. I'm in this hard season, I'm in this storm, and I trust that I'm going to come out of it, I'm going to get through it, and it's going to be okay. And I think there's such a fundamental difference with that. It's like, you do not have to be positive. It can be a bad day, but that still doesn't mean you don't get to be joyful. You can still be joyful because you know that something good is coming. Now that we've kind of talked about, some of the lessons we've learned with boundaries and cutting people out, let's pivot to what we are each still constructing. What is still under construction for you?
I can't choose one thing.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things under construction.
Yes.
I would say one of my major things right now that's under construction is being a business owner.
Yeah.
That is one of the hardest things, that I'm learning how to navigate on my own. But I mean, you and I have each other. And there's going to be some days that I am sure that it's going to be bad, but that's okay.
You can't have a good day with a bad day.
Right. Like just this week alone, Christy and I have been working really hard on our biz dev efforts, right? Trying to earn clients and showing them the value of what we do. And we've had I can't even 6 different opportunities, right? And first thing Monday morning, I open up my inbox. And this particular client that we've been working on, it's been probably about several conversations, a lot of conversations. You know how it is. First thing that I see is that we really appreciate the time that you've met with us and shared the value. We see the value in what you have to offer, but we've chosen to go a different route. And while I know that that's going to happen, it doesn't lessen the impact that it has on you as a small business owner.
Yeah. It's hard not to take it personal.
It is.
It's not you don't take it as, oh, okay, this training isn't the right fit. It's me.
So then I was in my feels all day, and I love Christy. You guys are going to get to see her at some point. Christy's like, how are you doing today? And I'm like, I'm good. And she's like, I know you're good, but how are you doing? So having that check-in moment that I'm like, and I prefaced it with her. I'm like, I'm going to be in my feels today.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Feel it. Don't
I just
repress
have,
it.
yes, I just have to feel it. I'm going through the day where you have this thing in the back of your head that you're just trying to make it be okay. Is it the product? Is it the training? Is it the pricing? Is it the people? What is it? She and I came together and we're like, it's none of that. It's that, again, and I've said this to you, there's going to be, builders out there that are not for me. And that's okay.
It's okay.
Right? We're to the point where we're not lessening our value and our pricing because it just may not be the right fit.
Yes.
So to answer your question,
yes,
being in my field as a business owner, learning how to navigate some of those losses, some of those wins is going to be the thing. Right? And I'm just going to continue to learn that.
I love that. I think for me, it's a couple things. One thing I have always struggled with it, but it's gotten worse, is body issues. Like, I am constantly thinking about all the things I hate about my body all the time. And I was listening to this one woman talk about how look in the mirror and find one thing you like about yourself. And so I'm like, it's a great kneecap. But I'm always thinking about it, and I know that I've got to not, but I just always feel so...
Well, now I'm going to have to see those kneecaps.
I'm just like, you have a really great kneecap. Body dysmorphia is real. I was talking to my really good friend about this. Saw a picture of her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks so beautiful. She's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I look horrible. So that is something I really got to work on, because I teach other people to love themselves, and I want to know how to love everything about myself and be happy with the way I look and not just so judgmental. So that's one huge thing that I think we can all relate to. And then the last thing is, this is one of my goals for next year, is I want to stop assuming malicious intent. I will cut if you do anything that I perceive to be as a harm to me, and I think it goes because of my history, right? I will cut you out of my life so fast, and I will never speak to you again, and I'll never give you an opportunity to explain yourself. Because I just feel like if the two people who were supposed to love you most in life can hurt you so deeply, and there are things that have been done to me by my parents I've never told anyone, and I never will. It's so hard for me when someone does something not to immediately assume that that it's bad. And so I want to be more understanding of people's actions and not always assume the worst.
Right.
Because I definitely I'm like, malicious.
It's funny that you say that, though, because for me, I feel like it's the opposite. Because for me, I have a really hard time with overly trust people and let them into my circle. Now, having gone through this transformation over the last couple of years, I've learned how to put my boundaries up. But even in that, my natural inclination with people is I love you until you prove me wrong.
Yes. Okay, I'm the same way. I will love you and trust you instantly, but the second you break that trust, I will never speak to you again.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's healthy because there's no research with that. I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is a bad person. I never will speak to this person again. And I don't think that's right, because there are people who do things that could be perceived bad that are absolutely not, right? I just perceived it that way. And so I one thing I want to stop is the first thought being malicious intent of, oh, they did this to hurt me. Yeah. Maybe it had nothing to do with me. Yes, I was the accidental hurt in the process.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, I feel like that there's going to be a lot more to unpack. We're going to have a lot more episodes about digging deep into this.
Yes, we're so grateful you are here. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. It means the absolute world to us, and we will see you on the next one.